This is Marvin Jones III, and you are now tuned in to Comics Online. Yes.
Hi, my name is Rob Edwards, the writer of Princess and the Frog and Defiant. You're on Comics Online.
We're back at Comic-Con 2024, this time once again with Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke, it was about Black Lightning.
Okay.
And this time we're talking about Defiant.
Yes, we are.
Now, I first learned about Defiant when you guys were first talking about that with Legion M, saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
come in, and support this film in the Legion M way, where you can own a piece of it." And now we're talking about a comic book.
Yeah.
How does a comic book story differ? Is it an intro?
Well, the comic book story is, and thank you again. Let me start by saying thank you for taking this journey with us on this Defiant mission. It started off, honestly, the idea of Robert Smalls and the Project Defiant was initially, and is initially, a film, big budget film, about a true American superhero, right? A piece of real American history that has not been told. So it's a travesty that it hasn't been told. So our mission was to come in and kind of rewrite the history books by telling a story that has been erased from public schools, public knowledge in general.
There's been way too much of that.
And it's way too much of that. And from there, what we thought, because of if you know about Robert Smalls, right? 23-year-old former slave who went to work on a Confederate slave ship, ended up galvanizing 9 families to hijack the ship, right, and surrender it to the Union Army, becoming the first black man elected to Congress via Abe Lincoln, one of the richest men in the world. Then went on to initiate public school systems as we know it, the first black railroad, first black newspaper, like all these things. He is a true American superhero doing things that are seemingly impossible, especially in that day and time. So, and coming from my background, right, and doing things, comic book related, whether it be Spider-Man or Black Lightning or Halo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We as a team thought that, okay, to frame this narrative for a film, we need people to know that this guy is not just your average. It's not just your average American slave story, right?
Yeah.
But it is a superhero.
Yeah.
In truth, and the medium of graphic novels and comic books is the way I believe those stories are told in a way that allows the reader and the consumer to imagine themselves in the position and also see the value and validity of the efforts that the one makes and the resolve, right? You think about resolve. Right, superheroes all have this certain level of resolve, and Robert Smalls in his human nature had this level of resolve. So we decided to go, and there was no books on him, by the way. So we decided to go in the area of graphic novel. We announced it at Comic-Con 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've gotten with an incredible staff of artists at Stranger Comics. Sebastian Jones, who is in my opinion one of the premier comic and graphic novel creators, right? Things like Niobe and the things he's doing, and he's in his.
Oh, I bought that.
You bought Niobe?
I didn't realize that's the same guy.
Yeah, that's who published the comic for us.
Oh, awesome.
And worked on the artwork. You got Ray Anthony Height, who did the cover, who comes from X-Men and a bunch of Marvel stuff.
Sure.
And we got the writer of the graphic novel and film, Rob Edwards, who's known for Princess and the Frog, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
nice.
Living Color. His credits really precede him. Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we wanted to put together an all-star team, right, to tell a story about an all-star human being, and that's where we're at now. The graphic novel's out. And the comic book is out, because the graphic novel is like a 4-part, which we're doing in 2, so it's going to think it's something like 8 or 12. But the first comic book is out.
Okay.
And
first issue. The
first issue is out and available here, and we're doing a signing and a panel, of course, on that. And then we got like limited versions of the covers that
special
we've done.
Covers and everything.
Covers. Yeah, man, we're going the whole way because one of our goals in telling this story and releasing this film is, one, that we can, immortalize the story of Robert Smalls, right? Show the humanity and the need for stories like this to be told, but at the same time, we want to take you on an adventure and a ride, and really making sure that we don't miss the mark and leave no stone unturned in the space of graphic novels and comic books and superhero storytelling is important, man, because we want people to really understand the importance and the validity of this man's life.
Well, so much has been erased over the years. I didn't know about the details regarding the Tulsa.
Yeah.
Until I saw that movie,
Watchmen.
until I saw that Watchmen television series.
Exactly.
Like, why didn't I know that was reality? Why was I brought up to not know that?
Yes. That's a perfect example of what we're doing here. Is if you look at that vehicle that Watchmen already was. Yeah. It was already a vehicle, right? And an incredible one. Yeah. Was utilized to tell us a true story that was it was criminal that it wasn't told before.
It's so shocking to see that this has been kept, America and kept from the world. Yeah. Because of just ancient hatred. Yeah. And it's nice to be able to release the truth into the air and get people to understand what's really gone on, our true history of America, and and come to terms with it.
Come to terms with it, and be inspired by it. Not just black people, African American people, or brown people. I think the Robert Smalls story is a heroic story of determination, tenacity, and resolve that everyone can relate to. Yeah. Right? Like if he can take his adverse situation and turn it into one of the most impactful in that time, what I'm talking about? We wouldn't have public schools with it.
You talk about each one of those, one of those things you say, oh, he did this and he did that. Yeah. Each one of those things, that's somebody's life. That would be a story in of itself. But he did all of those things.
Exactly.
And that's why he's a superhero.
That's why he's a superhero.
So Marvin, you're a producer. You're what else? What is your role? Do you have an acting role in this upcoming movie?
In the film, we haven't determined that. We've been talking about it.
You gotta be in there.
From the beginning, we've talked about it. My thing with coming on into the project, because to be quite honest, before they brought the project to me, right? I'm embarrassed to say,
it was kept from you too.
I didn't know about Robert Smalls.
Yeah.
Right? So it became a real passion of mine to tell the story and to get it told. Yeah. And whatever steps that we have to take to get it told, those are the steps that we're going to take. I mean, of course, my forte is acting. It's the first major project that I've produced on the film side or the graphic novel side. And people at Legion M, shout out to Legion M, right? Because they're the lead producers on this. Yeah. We've talked about it, and I'm sure there'll be a space in there, a place for me, but my career has been blessed. I'm working on so many other projects too, that are impactful to the culture. But this is something that, the role presents itself. I'm totally down. But for me, the importance is actually making sure that it is told. Yeah. And to be a part of that.
As a comic collector, I am really looking forward to reading that stories, whether it's 8 parts, 12 parts, whatever, a couple of trades, worth of comics, and then seeing that movie created by the same people. So often we see something, you'll see a comic book story, and then it's developed by a third party, and it's going to be adapted into a movie or into a cartoon series or whatever, and it's not the same people, so they're not telling the same story. Right. And yet here, where it is going to be telling the same story, so I'm really looking forward to it.
That's something that Rob and myself, the writer Rob Edwards, we talk about all the time, is that making sure that we have the it's not even the word, I don't like to say control, I don't like that word for some reason, I just don't, but but we want to make sure that we are at the helm of navigating, and no pun to Robert Smalls being the captain, right, in navigation of that ship, but we want to make sure that we are navigating the story from A to Z. Yeah. And you're right. A lot stories get taken and adapted, and I've played in things that have been taken and adapted. Sure. And it, there's always there's this it gets blurry in the middle, right? But with this story, no, we're actually in talks right now. In development with an A-list director who's going to come on and direct this film. A-list black director who's phenomenal, and I'm really excited about that. We're not ready to announce it yet, but we will soon.
Can't wait.
And that's our thing, And Rob is an incredible and accomplished writer. Yeah. So me as a producer, I want to make sure that the creatives behind this are navigating this story from A to Z to make sure that it's told right in a proper context and with the proper follow through at the end. So. Yeah, we're in a good space with it, man.
Awesome.
Super pumped.
So let me ask you this question, and this might be for some of the other folks, but do you know now? Not everybody watching this is going to be here at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
For those people who want to buy this comic, do they order it direct through Legion M?
Well, it's available on Amazon. You can go to DefiantProject.com.
Okay.
It's there as well. You can go to Legion M site and get it. There's several places to get it. So
beautiful.
It's available. I think it's available on Stranger Comics. I could be wrong about that, but I know through DefiantProject.com. I know through Legion M, of course, and their website.
And then just Amazon.
And then Amazon.
Everybody got that.
Easy. Everybody got that. So you can get it, and you can get it a hard copy. You can get it digitally.
All right.
On all these places as well.
Very nice.
And I think the limited cover is only available here at
that makes sense.
I think
that makes sense.
I need to confirm that, but. Yes.
Well, we will be by that booth before we go.
Come by, please, man.
All right.
Great,
hey,
man.
Thank you so much, Marvin.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Much.
Here today we are with Rob Edwards, the writer of Defiant, the Robert Smalls story. So this started out as a Legion M movie. You guys were promoting, hey, come and get your piece of this movie,
yes.
and that's still the case.
Yes.
But now you're also leading into this with a comic book series.
Yes, exactly.
Why did you decide to come in with a comic book series?
Yeah, well, we actually wanted to do something very original, which is most of the time when you see, this story it's a story of a 23-year-old who basically commandeered a Confederate ship, surrendered it to the Union Army. It was the biggest haul of the Civil War. He quickly became a war hero. He convinced Lincoln to to allow black people to fight for the Union Army, which turned the tides in the Army. Glory, the movie, is based on what he did. He started a railroad. He started a publishing company. He ran for Congress 5 times. He did all these things, right? And so we would go to the studios, just feeling them out, and they said, well, wait, what is this about? I've seen a lot of slave movies. They're always about whips and chains, and they're really bummers. And we're like, no. This is an inspirational story. But the pushback was so much. We said we need to tell the story before we tell the story.
Yeah.
Let them tell. We're doing a whole new thing. This is Rob Edwards, the Disney guy who did Princess and the Frog, doing.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
One of my favorites.
Oh, good. Yes. How about Treasure Planet?
Well, listen, that's taking it back.
Naval theory.
Nice.
But anyway, but yeah. So to do it, to do an original film, we had to approach it in an original way, and also by doing it as a comic book, and specifically a comic book series. There's going to be 12 issues. Each 4 is going to be a volume, which will be its own graphic novel. The first one is already a bestseller in 3 categories on Amazon.
Nice.
We had this record-breaking Kickstarter campaign for it. So things are going well. Things are going well. We're proving ourselves out. But what we wanted to have happen was we wanted for kids to kind of get it, enjoy the hell out of it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then from there to be able to share it with their friends and for it to itself go viral, so that the story would be out there. There'd be a hunger for it. Yeah. And then make the movie, have people who are already fans of the story see the movie. So so it's going really well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so the first one is already available on Amazon.
Yes. Second one we're announcing here at the con.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to eventually see them, even if it's the trade paperbacks. We're going to eventually see them in your local comic stores.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't wait for that as well, because you got to support the local guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Stranger Comics, who does them, I'll show you. They're gorgeous. Nicholas Draper-Ivey, who does Static Shock, did the covers.
Nice.
It is Damien. Yes, exactly. Just fantastic artistry all the way through.
Nice art.
wonderful Shaft cover. OG Shaft for everybody. It's truly beautiful. Sebastian Jones and the guys at Stranger Comics are doing it. They do Niobe and a bunch of the really wonderful comic books. So they are everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're going to be, we will be everywhere with them, and hopefully, like I say, it'll be viral in the sense of like kids buying it and sharing it with their friends.
Sure.
And kind of building a case for why this should be a major picture.
Tell a good story and it'll spread.
Yeah, and fortunately, we're in conversations with we're allowed to say an A-list award-winning African American director.
We got a similar thing from Marvin.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Well, he read the memo.
Yeah.
That we can't announce his name just yet because we're still working out all the details. But he's excited about it. It's a passion project for him too.
Oh, good.
So we're gonna make a real movie with real people and real directors. So everything is super thrilling. That every step along the way we feel like the spirit of Robert Smalls is kind of pushing us.
It's an amazing story. Is there anything? Any particular scene that you just can't wait to see either in the comic book or in the eventual movie? What's going to be the really best scene?
Well, first the actual the taking of the planter that night was astonishing. They left at 3 a.m. So that they would not be detected. They had to finish the mission before 6 a.m., which is when the sun rose.
Yeah.
Along the way, the white crew, the reason why it was such an opportunity for them was that the white crew was on shore and leaving only the black crew. So they gathered up with their families and everything. There were 9 of them. They lined the deck of the ship with gunpowder because they knew that if they were caught, they were just going to blow themselves up because they'd be streets by the Confederates if things went wrong. 5 military checkpoints, each of them with a different code. And Robert himself, 23-year-old Robert Smalls, dressed as the captain, gets through all of this.
Wow.
After that, he runs 17 missions for the Union Navy. It's packed with it's packed with really fun stuff.
So not just one exciting scene, but just an endless.
Many.
Now we know that Robert Smalls went on to not just do these exciting superhero things, but also did wonderful things in for the public. Are we going to see an afterward style thing?
Well, that's 2 things. One is that the third volume, the second volume, is mostly about his business accomplishments and what was happening with Reconstruction at that time, where people were going from slavery, learning the English language, becoming lawyers within the course of like 3 years.
Wow.
Millionaires, doctors, all that kind of thing. It was just the shade had been lifted and all these sprouts were growing. So that was one thing. And then in the last one, it's his 5 runs for Congress, as Jim Crow is getting stronger and stronger. So and they try to frame him in his second to last run. And successfully, they asked him to leave, stay out of Congress. We'll drop the charges. And he said, no, it never happened. I'm fighting this. It took him almost his entire congressional term to beat it, but he beat it. Walked up the steps, took his seat back. So it's like drama. It's every minute of this guy's life is a movie in itself.
Wow.
So it will be, I think, action-packed, kind of really fun to watch and really inspirational.
So some of it will be action, and some of it will be drama and intrigue.
Tension, intrigue, exactly. Yes, really great courtroom drama, tension, that kind of thriller kind of thing.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
And the feature film is going to be all of this or just part 1?
All the above.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Well, there is a debate as to is it something that we should do as a series?
Yeah.
Because all of these things are really, incredible, suspenseful, whatever. Or is it just like a movie that's going to blow your mind?
Right.
So it's good 2 options to have.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out as we go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm writing the adaptation right now, and along with the director, and we'll by the next Comic-Con we'll have huge announcements to make.
Well, I can't wait to see you then, and until then, we'll be reading your comic book. Thank you, Rob.
Boop.